You know, I go by a slogan in life, and it's this: there are things in life that are easy, and there are things in life that are hard. Let's keep the easy things easy, because the hard things are hard enough. Relationships can be easy, and they don't have to be as hard as they are sometimes. So what I'm going to create a context for tonight is this idea of the art of relationshiping. Our relationships are the basis of everything we do. From home to work to play, our relationships get us the level of results that we're living with. So when you think of the word relationships tonight, I want you to cast your umbrella really wide. I want you to think about relationships in your home, your extended family, work, colleagues, and friends. I want you to even think about those relationships that you may not have right now, but you wish you do have. And now I want you to take it one step further. And I want you to think about the one relationship. If you could have it all your way, which is the one relationship that you would like to transform? You wish you were living with a different result in. I'd like you to keep that relationship at the top of your mind as we walk through a high-level preview of what the art of relationshiping is about. So I'd like for you to take a piece of paper so you know where I'm going, and draw a circle on your paper. And then divide that circle into 3 pie slices. And the art of relationshiping is really broken down into 3 key areas. The first area is brain science. The second area is gender smarts. And the third area is partnership. Brain science, gender smarts, and partnership. So what I'm going to do here in a moment is we're going to talk just a little bit about each of those 3 areas as we are thinking about creating an art to our relationshiping. Before we get into brain science, I want to ask you this. Think of a time you've gone to a museum. If it's here in Dallas, it could have been the Dallas Museum of Art or the Nasher Sculpture Garden. Art shows up in many forms. So what I want to ask you is this. If you had an art gallery of some kind, and there was some kind of paraphernalia or picture on the walls that related to your relationships or that demonstrated your relationships, what would those pictures look like? Perhaps it would be a beautiful sunset vista. Perhaps it would be a picture of something from your childhood and a memory that is there. Perhaps it would be a picture of something that's not quite done. Art is a work in progress, as are our relationships. And so what we'll kick off tonight is this idea of brain science. Where does brain science fit into our relationships? Well, contemporary psychology is on our side. In the last 20 years, we have learned so much about the brain and how we can best work with one another. So the nugget I want to give you here tonight is this. My brain likes my ideas best. Mitch, your brain likes your ideas best. Rusty, your brain likes your ideas best. So if I am going to work powerfully with you in a personal or professional relationship, being a smart girl and having that brain science on my side, I'm going to know that I'm going to work with you to create new thinking from your context, to innovate thinking for you, instead of putting my own ideas and thinking in your minds. So often in our professional endeavors, for sure, we're always trying to convince and sell people of what our ideas are. But you know what? The brain throws up red flags, and at some point, people stop receiving. But guess what we do? We keep talking and trying to convince. And what are we doing? We're frustrating people and wasting time. Brain science can help us to be smarter about how we can work powerfully with other people. Well, so brain science, that's one little nugget I've given you. Let's move on to gender smarts. Gender smarts, okay. Really basic concept that if we can work together to not think it's so basic and to consider how powerful it is, it could change everything. And it's this: he doesn't equal she doesn't equal he. I know you probably say, Laurie, really? You're giving that to us tonight? Yes, I'm really giving it to you tonight. Because this is why we know it, but we don't live it. And when we start living it, changes can happen and transformed results can be what your everyday possibility is. This is what I mean. Women, when we stop looking at the men in our lives as big, hairy women who are constantly misbehaving, then we can stop trying to always correct them, and we can enjoy and appreciate them. Now, men, if you would please stop looking at women as softer, gentler men whose feelings have gone awry, then you can appreciate and team and partner with us. So, my he does not equal she does not equal he is there. There's something in there for us. I will also attach one other thing on this for you, and it's this. In this area of gender smarts, there's so much for us to learn around human instinct. Our DNA that drives our human instinct is relatively unchanged since the time humans started walking. Relatively unchanged, but our culture has changed tremendously. So we delve into this idea of what are the human instincts from a man's perspective and a woman's perspective that are here, that are present with us. And let's gain awareness on it so we can identify what are we going to do with it. Do we want to keep it, or do we want to substitute it for something else? So I walk into that a little further. And that's where the fun, creative, and practical side of a lot of this begins to come together. So we've talked about brain science. We've pulled in gender smarts. With those two in check, that's where we can create partnership, which is that third quadrant we talked about at the beginning. Partnership. When you think about partnership, what am I talking about? I'm thinking about the kinds of results that you can get when 1 + 1 equals something more than 2. Partnership results are often the things that we expect or want, but we're not putting in the partnership ingredients to get to it. Bear with me for a moment as we'll have a food example on something. So this is the foodie side coming out of me. Creme brulee. I love creme brulee. I love to make it. I love how it looks. I love to eat it. I don't want to share my creme brulee. If we ever go to dinner, I want my own afterwards. Okay, so here's the thing about creme brulee. I better not be expecting creme brulee to come out of my oven unless I've put in the 5 ingredients that go in creme brulee. If I didn't put in eggs, cream, vanilla, sugar, and hot water, I better not be expecting creme brulee to come out of that oven. How many times in our relationships are we expecting something like creme brulee when we didn't put in the 5 ingredients? That's the idea of partnership. Where is it possible for us to create partnership at home and at work where we're not? We talk about the equation to get to that. So, as a brief recap, the art of relationshiping truly is an art. It is a skill. It's something that we can express through beauty and intentionality. With the art of relationshiping, it creates the possibility to transform results from the kitchen table to the boardroom. Thank you.